Hi everyone, I'm Nick Erner. I'm the Managing Director of Alkane Resources.
And I'm Ian Chalmers, Technical Director of Alkane Resources.
We're shooting another video again today because, frankly, both of us have got great feedback from our shareholders who enjoy this explanation of what we think's, a really exciting discovery, although albeit complex to understand in Boda. So here it is, number 3. We hope you enjoy it and we hope you get a lot out of it because, we're pretty excited about these results and we'd like to convey it. So, Ian, let me first ask you about the announcement we put out nearly 10 days ago, and I'm going to throw up the visual on the screen of the cross-section I'm about to refer to. There are two things that I really took out of that. The first one was the high grade coming to surface, and we'll talk about that.
Yep.
And the second thing is what I called smoke, but the really large intersections down at Boda. Were you surprised to see that, geologically?
Yeah, I was. Yeah, we thought the system probably topped out at about 200 metres below surface. So we had that feeling just in all sorts of zonations. Finding that it did come right through to the surface, and also there was a monzonite associated with it, monzonite intrusive, very important. Coming there right on the surface, it went zero. It was on virtually just below the soil profile. It was a big surprise, an encouraging surprise, but a big surprise.
Yeah, very, very encouraging. So, I guess the question I was sort of thinking was, we previously put the porphyry, your classic porphyry model that we've used in some of the other videos, and it's in the presentation people can see online. It didn't appear that sort of intrusive through to surface was usual when you look at that model. So is it usual? Is it unusual?
It's not unusual. In broader geologic terms, globally these systems often do come to the surface, not very substantial on the surface. It's like anything you do in exploration. Every time you drill a hole, something changes. The model changes, and you go back to the scratch and think, okay, that wasn't right. We'll fix it next time. But as you've already pointed out, the way that the system does come to the surface is a real big positive for us. Yes,
well, as you know, us engineers always love to see the constant changes come through from geology. But you and I were talking earlier, and you were sort of talking to me about mining method. What was your sort of exact question there?
Look, I think maybe that's something I throw back at you. I think that we've got Boda, the high grade system comes to the surface, and there's broader mineralisation at the surface. We've got Kaiser, we know we've got surface mineralisation there, and down at Boda too, we've got so it's over to you.
Yeah, well, thanks, mate. Yeah, so you're right. I did put in the announcement that this gave us open cut potential, I thought, because as soon as you start to see mineralisation at surface, the cheapest method is, of course, through open cut extraction. So the thing I liked about it, and I was saying to you, was, either an open cut or a box cut that pays for itself as you head down underground makes a lot of sense. And so you start to think when you see these high grade zones, well, could this be at a minimum a profitable box cut with a long hole open stope, and ideally maybe even a large open cut with sort of a sub-level cave or something like that. So absolutely, it smells like that, mate, doesn't it? Yeah.
Well, I think it's very important what you've just said.
Yeah.
I mean, we know that we've got surface mineralisation. We know that high grade breccia zone now is at least 300 metres of strike length. It's 50 metres wide. We've tracked it vertically at 800 metres, and I don't believe we've closed it off vertically.
And cracking grades.
And cracking grades.
Yeah.
And it's interesting that because of the history at Kaiser, people have forgotten about Kaiser. There's a surface, small high-grade deposits, 200 metres long on the surface, that was mined back in the turn of the century, in the 1890s for copper and gold. So Kaiser, we know there is already surface mineralisation there, so it does make it...
Yeah, it does give it potential for multiple open cuts, which is good. Yep. One of the other things I said in that announcement was I said to people after the announcement, really, when I got asked by different investors, I thought that Boda 2 intersection showed a lot of smoke, right? And what I meant by that was, that we're in the right geological area, that potential high grade was there. It's massive mineralisation. Can you comment on that?
Yep.
And I'll throw the image up on the screen here so people can see where Boda 2 is. But that image is from the presentation.
Yeah, you've hit it straight away on the head. It's a very big system, and that last hole we drilled, hole 33, got an intersection width of nearly 1 kilometre from and it's all sort of in that 0.2 gold range with other high grade zones within it.
And copper, still copper there as well.
Still plus copper. Boda 2, historically, we thought was more of a gold-rich zone from what we knew, but now as we get more into it, it starts to develop more like Boda, so you get gold, and you get gold, copper, and then copper. So, and the good thing about it is it's not closed off to the south, and we've got Boda 3, another target about a kilometre away further south. So you're starting to see, these big systems like Boda 2, like Boda, like Kaiser, they really do start to stack up as substantial systems.
Yeah, particularly massive tonnages,
Yeah.
it would appear. So let's look ahead. We've got one RC, 2 diamond rigs there. We've got, as we talked about, from Boda 3 all out through to Kaiser Duke, nearly 4 kilometres worth of strike length there for exploration. That's running. We'll have results coming in. Particularly, we've talked about, the RC between Kaiser and Boda. So I guess for me, I like all information that leads to what may be mineable in the future. But as a geologist trying to understand, define the, what are you excited about seeing? What are that sort of targets you particularly interested in seeing? And I'm not going to let you say all of it.
Damn. Basically, what you straight away say, Kaiser's a big system, Boda's a big system.
Yeah.
We have a kilometre zone of it. It's a little bit of a transported cover. There's a little creek through there, so it's transported cover. It's not very deep, probably a few metres at best. So, yes, to fill that in now, which is what we're doing, systematically filling it in with the RC rig. Look, it may not be continuous, but if it is, it's a very, very big system.
Yeah.
But I'd be even happy to say, okay, we've got Kaiser. It's a kilometre long system. It's 500 or 600 metres wide, the same as Boda. So you've got 2 repeats like that. So, but we do need to test. If they're continuous, it changes the ball.
So it's fair to say you're most excited about just understanding that corridor.
Correct. Yeah. Geologically, that's the primary driver. It's the primary driver to understand. Can you find an economic deposit?
Yeah. And the question I get asked by everybody is, and I tell them we're drilling for information, not for knowledge. But at what sort of point, what sort of density, when we understand the continuity, do you think in this financial year we're in, we should be able to release an initial resource?
I believe so. Given the program and given that there's no interruptions to that program going forward, we should have enough information towards the end of the year to be able to start to model it and model it very thoroughly, both with the geology and the mineralisation, and then talk about potentially an inferred resource on it.
Yeah. Great. Well, everyone, I hope you find that helpful, and obviously we'll record more information about this system and our understanding of it as we learn more, which is a near continuous process. So thanks for watching, and thanks again, mate, for showering us with knowledge.
Thank you.
You're
nice
welcome.
to do it. Yes.